Which one? The camera. Make a photo. Okay. Also need to start this.
Recording!
Yes.
It's always me.
Hi, I'm Alisa,
Hi, I'm Marge.
and welcome to the Mediterranean podcast. Today, third episode,
Yes.
we are gonna dive a bit into past, present, and future of our life in the Netherlands. What were the whirlwinds that we experienced and felt during a various series of moments in our life. And to start with, well, we always prepare some questions, but of course the conversation can go everywhere.
Anywhere. Yes.
So starting with the past, which we labeled as pre-arrival. Marge. Yes.
Flashback sounds.
Marge. By the time you knew that you were going to move to the Netherlands, what's going on in your mind at the time? Is there anything that you are imagining or specific expectation you had?
That's a lot of question first. But yes. So before I moved to the Netherlands, it's actually my first time going out of the country ever as a tourist or as living abroad or whatever. It's my first time. So there's a lot of expectations. This may sound dumb for some. I don't know where the Netherlands is that time. No, I just know Europe.
That was new.
Yes, I know Europe is a continent. I know, of course, Asian countries because that's where I live, basically. But I just don't know what the Netherlands is. I don't know where it is exactly in the map. I don't know where to find it. But also, I don't necessarily have the need to know it, specifically Netherlands. Like,
You just book a flight and that's the airport I have to be.
yeah,
And someone will pick me up
Exactly. Yeah, someone will pick me up. Someone will be there. Hopefully, someone will be there
with a name tag or something.
with
Hey,
a big
Marjorie.
flashcard like, this is me, this is for you. I don't know. But yeah, I'm really not that aware. And I think a big chunk of that is just that Filipinos are just aware of our everyday life and what's happening around us. We are not very much aware of what's going on outside because, to be honest, it doesn't necessarily affect us directly. So there was no need for me to know where Europe or the Netherlands is. So when my boyfriend and I were planning for me to have small trips in the Netherlands, I just specifically asked or requested to be here during winter times because, in the Philippines, it's just warm, always sunny and all of that. So I'm like, okay, I'm going to go visit you, but I wanted to be in winter. I wanted to see snow. I wanted to feel cold, a change of scene. But oh boy, I was surprised. It was because in your head, it's going to be, a winter wonderland. Everything that I learned outside the Philippines is from movies, from books, from school. I really don't have the concept of the real life in a different country would look like. Because usually my life is always connects or somehow connected with life abroad because of working. My mom worked abroad, my sister's working abroad and all of that. But actually living your everyday normal life abroad is just way different in my head. So the reference is always from the movies and the books or whatever you see in social media.
That part that is romanticized.
Yeah, especially very Americanized, I think, because in the Philippines, our TVs are white people are Americans. That's it. So it's also very, very different. When I finally came here to visit, I was immediately humbled by how everyday life looks like here. Because at that time, my boyfriend actually didn't took a holiday off from work because the goal of me visiting the Netherlands is to get used to the normal life and to see if this is something for me. If this is something that I could get used to or if this is something that I'm open to, considering that this is how my life would be. My boyfriend is super nice with that because, some people will be like, okay, either you move here and you don't. But I was very privileged that he gave me a choice, like come here a couple of times and just decide when you're ready. So at that time...
Without pushing.
Exactly, without pushing. So when I came here, it's just more of really seeing the real life. So he didn't have to take holidays off from work. At that time, we were living at his mom's place. You see her around, I see her around, so I actually see how she does on a daily basis. She's also working herself. So I was actually kind of confronted to do things alone. I was very overwhelmed. It's not just the concept that everything is new to me, which is already quite overwhelming. But the fact that I have to do it alone is just, I don't know, over the top.
And the thing is that it's part of the culture
Yes.
here in the Netherlands.
Yes.
And also that you're really moving alone.
Yeah.
So you move out and you're not with your family or anybody that you know. You know somebody, but it's not the same as being at home surrounded by people that you knew all your life.
Yeah, that's also what I was thinking. Like for Western culture, oh yes, it's nice. I could actually discover things alone. I don't know where I don't know where to find things, but that's great. I could discover life actually abroad. But for someone like me, Filipina, that is very communal. I grew up surrounded with people and surrounded with my entire family, and now I am in a totally different continent alone because I have to learn. Some people might ask like, yeah, why did your boyfriend didn't assist you or whatever? But I think I have to learn it on my own. Otherwise, I think by now I would have still struggled if he's always like waiting for me to fall and then, someone to catch me or whatever.
Otherwise, you become so dependent on another person.
Exactly. And I think that's the entire point of course, of not just moving out of my family's home, but actually moving out of the environment that I'm used to. Poke you a bit to do things that you have to do it alone, whether you like it or not. And then you'll figure it out if you actually like it or not. So yeah, I'm actually not mad, or I'm not complaining that everything is different. Don't get me wrong. I'm not complaining about that. I am just overwhelmed with the fact that everything is so different. Because again, in my entire life, I grew up with the same environment. So that's the basis that I know. And when I came here, everything is totally opposite. The only basis or my survival instinct is based on what I knew growing up. So when I was here, I was pretty shocked by things.
And I think Europe is also pretty much different.
Yeah.
Well, very much different
than
Asia, than Philippines.
Yeah.
European countries are similar on some aspects.
Yes.
But you're really coming from a totally different background. And
so in terms of imagining things, I only imagine good life, like there's a background music while you're, I don't know, cycling around or whatsoever. Because again,
birds are singing.
Yeah. Yeah, because again, it's just based on something fictional. And that at that time, that was my reality of how Europe or the Netherlands looked like. So when I got here, I was shocked by it. But yeah, what about you?
I think for me, it was a mix of emotions, definitely. So I had excitement first, definitely. And I had also sadness and fear. When it comes to excitement, well, I was doing or making the move, all caps. So I was the one that's packing her luggage, going abroad for studying and hopefully staying here, working and so on. So I was that person that you see in the movies or that friend or that family member.
I think I've seen you in one of the films that I've watched.
That was me. So you are that person that moved abroad, that romantic part of, and exotic and exciting. So I was that person. So that was definitely the excitement part of moving away from my country. But at the same time, I had also sadness that kicked in a bit later when I started saying goodbye to people. So the moment that I was going to organizing dinners or going to a happy hour with my friends and they're starting giving me gifts, writing me cards, I was really, telling me myself, inside of me, I was like, oh my gosh, there's no turning back.
Because I think for moving out of the country or even just moving from one environment to another, indeed, there's always this excitement, and subconsciously we know that it's going to be lonely, but it never really kicks in until you're in that moment.
Until you are like the last few minutes before leaving the country.
Because you're like, I know I'm going to be sad. I know it's going to be hard to say goodbye. You know that. But when you're actually doing that moment that your friends are giving you hugs and kisses and whatnot, you'll be like, this is the last time that I'm going to do that. Well, not the last time.
For a while.
For a while.
Also the feeling, there's no turning back. Yes, of course there is. But in that moment, you just... there's no turning back now. I need to go on that plane, I bought a ticket, everything is ready.
Everything goes just black or white. That's it. There's no like, maybe if I miss things I will go back. No, you're doing it. You're doing this.
Exactly. I think that looking back, I don't think I cried, but maybe I'm mistaken. So to my friends, if you remember, let me know, because I don't think I cried, but definitely I had a knot in my throat for a while, but that was when the sadness kicked in. I'm leaving actually a lot of people behind. That's maybe also a give for granted sometimes.
Yeah.
And then when you are there, it's like, oh, okay, I need to plan a lot of dinners, or I cannot see that person, or maybe I can just drop by your house to say goodbye. So you really need to plan that. And then also fear, of course. I was moving out my house, so I was not gonna live with my family anymore. So I was leaving also all my friends behind. So that was also a bit scary, because you don't know what to expect. You really need to figure out on your own what to do. How will be the environment here. Of course, the environment was not new, so it was not a surprise, but still there was that element of fear of, I'm not going to live anymore with my family. Even if I lived with my family, or I lived away from my family during my studies. Yes, during my bachelor study. Every weekend I was coming home. Mm-hmm. And now that was not possible anymore. You really need to plan
you can,
it. So that's very... Of course.
Time,
it's a
effort, money,
time consuming, and also quite draining. But of course, you can always do that. And also a bit the fear of, will I be able to make new friendship? How will it be? Will I be able to find my way around? Quite scary at the time.
There's a lot of questions that you don't know answers to.
No.
And you don't even know if you're ever, if you're ever going to find those answers, and will you be ever satisfied with those answers? That's kind of also a big scary thing.
No, definitely. You need to be there to and you need to answer them yourself.
Yeah, exactly. And that's
with
a
your
bit
experience.
confronting. But we're talking about the past, and you said you had certain expectations, you had certain questions. Were those expectations met? If you look back now, how was your first year?
I think definitely excitement, fear, sadness, those emotions were really there. So there's a bit, you experience it before moving, and then when you are here, okay, all those three definitely there. And excitement was part of the first year. Was the biggest part was excitement, of course, because you're doing a lot of things for the first time. You're really putting yourself out there, Also, I did things here that... in Italy, I wouldn't do, or maybe I would do a bit later, for example.
Yeah, because you know that the time is within your hands.
Yeah, exactly. So definitely making new friends, making appointments, making phone calls in English, because at the beginning it was super, super scary. I mean, that's... You need really to write down what you're gonna say, right? Being in a place where your parents are not there, trying to figuring out where are the supermarkets, doing the laundry, cleaning, everything you need to do on your own,
I think that's one of the biggest things that we are immediately humbled by, because you and I both grew up and never lived outside of our family home. Little things that, it's not so little things that we thought were little when we were living with them. Now you realize it's not so little. It never stops. The chores of the house, the laundry, and all of that. You're like, how are my parents doing it?
And then you're so glad that they did, right? Yeah. Doing the groceries, but also doing it on a bike. Yes. Doing it on a bike and try to balance everything on that bike. And every time you exit the supermarket, you're like, why the hell did I buy so many things? Where I'm going to put them?
But you already paid,
So that's really something, that expectation that, you kind of know that this is something you're going to do, but you don't know until you are there, right? And definitely practice some Dutch here and there, of course, joining a new gym, getting in a new routine based on your old routine. That's something that's in the first year, that was really a lot of new things, definitely a lot of new things. One thing I did struggle, I have to say, that was how you have to dress in winter.
Okay.
I mean, I come from north of Italy, so it's cold in winter. I know, I go skiing, so you need to have a heavy coat, warm coat, scarf, and all of that. But you go around with the car, so that's okay. But in the Netherlands, you actually move with your bike. You do everything with your bike. So the first year in winter, going to university, I was wearing my heavy coat, and I had 2 layers of clothes underneath, like a t-shirt, a sweater, and a scarf, and I was biking. And after 5 to 7 minute biking, it was so warm, I was so sweaty. And then you get to uni, and then you see Dutch girls with a leather jacket in December.
Just leather jacket and
I was
a t-shirt
like,
underneath.
How the hell they're not cold, I was just like, I'm very surprised, and I'm like, I don't know, it's winter, so you're not supposed to wear, you need to wear heavy stuff, like warm stuff, because you're gonna get sick otherwise. I was like, how do they do that? Because I don't know, but I'm also so sweaty, but if I take out my jacket, then I'm gonna get a cold. Well,
Yeah, because it's hot and cold. That's also why you get sick. Yeah.
yes, it took some years, but I think I cracked the code now. So I'm also one of those
What's
girls
the code?
that, I don't know. I
Layers.
think you just need to test and see like, oh, will I get sick or not? And then like with small steps. Now after 8 years, I think I cracked it, and I can get up to November, depending on the year, with my leather
Yeah,
jacket.
but also that's the thing in the Netherlands. It really changes a
Yes.
lot, the weather.
So well, that coat stayed after that first year. I think I didn't touch it for a while. So every now and then when it was really cold, but rather have onion layers, right? And then trial and error, test
Yeah,
it
but
and
also
see how
it's very hard not to compare, right? Like when you see yourself like you're already this big, and you see your neighbor like
exactly.
she's okay.
I look like a Michelin man,
Yeah,
you know.
yeah,
So
yeah.
that was the feeling. And what about you, Marge? What were those expectations? Those expectations met? If you look back, how was your first year overall here in the Netherlands?
So when I finally moved in 2021, it wasn't the easiest. It was a different kind of hard, actually. At that time, I have been coming back and forth as a tourist. I know some places. Actually, I only know a place that was where my boyfriend lives. I know the grocery, where to find a grocery store. I just know survival things that I need to know, like if something
Basic
happens.
survival.
Basic survival, yeah. Skills, yeah. That's the only thing I need to know. But so I'm getting confident as a tourist. I can say that because yeah, indeed, the survival skills are getting better, and I know where to get and find things. So just like you, the first year for me was super exciting also because we had an apartment. My boyfriend and I are moving in together. It's also his first time moving out of his family home, so we don't own anything at all. So it's very exciting because you get to buy new stuff. Shopping
Together,
is always nice.
and then you can choose what you like.
Yeah.
It's not only his taste.
Yeah,
and that's
exactly.
definitely-
So it was literally an empty apartment. So we have to get things that are TV, microwave, oven, and such. So that's the very exciting part because also when you were young, you have this urge or need to be an adult because you think
Everything is exciting.
Everything
Also
is
buying a microwave.
yeah, it's buying a microwave. Exactly, buying a microwave, even though you only put microwave food there, so it's fine. You have a
Chicken dal
microwave.
broaches.
Oh my god! But it didn't stay long for me. Yeah, just a bit of background before. Couple of months or few months before I moved to the Netherlands, it was COVID time. Remember 2020, something like that. So I had this work from home job. In paper, it's supposed to be a talent acquisition position. In reality, it's more of a telemarketing. So I'm always on the phone 8 hours a day, and everything is monitored. Even your toilet breaks are monitored.
Oh wow, really?
Yeah, toilet breaks are
Intense.
monitored. Yeah, very intense because also my boss has a way of getting through my laptop and checking what I do. And then if I wanted to go to toilet, I have to tell him like, hey, just a pause. I'm gonna go toilet. Maybe after X amount of time. Where are you? Anyway, that. So it was very toxic environment. I was excited to get out of it. So when I moved here, 2021, my boyfriend was like, take your time. You have all the opportunity right now. Also, the concept of international or a different country, you have a huge amount of opportunity because you know in yourself that you have the skill, you have the knowledge, or at least back home you have that. So when I moved here, we really decided as a couple that I'm not gonna work first. I'm just gonna take my time to actually settle in and get to know the country and find what works for me.
Seems a small thing, but actually it's not, because
No.
that's also quite.
I think it's one
quite
of the
intense.
biggest things that you really need to put attention to when you move from one place to another. It takes a lot of courage as well and bravery to accept that there are things that is not really applicable to where you are right now. So yeah, when I moved here, my boyfriend said, you are here to have a better life. And that doesn't necessarily mean to have more money or to have a better job. It's more of the quality of life. Because I think I was fine in the Philippines. So when I moved here, what was the difference? So now you're looking for something that is better life. So it didn't take that long, actually, my break or taking the time to chill and get to know the country. It didn't take.
Can't chill. I
No,
don't know.
I can't chill. So after I think 2, maybe 3 months, my boyfriend and I are arguing a lot because I have a lot of energy and passion in me that I'm not using at all. There's nothing much to do in a 1-bedroom apartment. There's nothing much to do during winter time as well.
That
So-
was the worst combo.
No. So I was just at home, also new in the country. I don't know anyone besides my boyfriend. That's it. So we were arguing a lot, and that's where we decided, you know what, you need to find something to do. And of course, work is one of the biggest things there. So I found a job, I got a job, and I gave my 120% because I was operating in the Philippines because, again, that's my basis, how I function. And because I became so busy during the first year, I actually didn't even have the time to stop and think and ask myself, are you happy with this new life that you got? So my life really revolves around work. That's it. I am one of those people that doing 10 hours a day. When I get home, I also talk about work. When I wake up, the first thing I check is my phone, housework. And when I am with people that is not part of the job or work, I also talk about work. And I hate those people, but I was one of those people. My first year was not the greatest. I don't remember much from it. It's such a shame that I don't remember any remarkable or extravagant thing happened in my first year. Well, yeah, it's such a shame, but yeah, I don't, because I was just too busy and too occupied with work. That's the reality of it.
Yeah, and also just figuring out, and that's enough. That's already something. That's already a lot.
Yeah, I know,
for
but
the first year, you know?
if I look back now, it's just such a shame because, again, you're just functioning the way you knew how to function, and that's work. And I never really took a step back and say like, hey, I'm in a new country. I should go to, I don't know, Amsterdam. I should go to Den Haag, visit new places or whatever.
Practical part came in first.
Very quickly. And I think because I was already coming here back and forth as a tourist, so I think when I finally moved here, I'm like, you're not a tourist anymore, you gotta work. Now that I look back, I should have given myself actually time to be a tourist once in a while, maybe over the weekends or maybe during your days of, I don't know.
When did it feel like, oh, this is my life now? Any specific time frame or many situations that have happened?
Believe it or not, I just recently had that realization, maybe early this year, which is again such a shame that I just recently realized it. But as I said, all I did was work. Nothing else. I didn't make new friends. I didn't build new habits. I didn't discover new passions or interests. Nothing. I was just working. Many things have happened in my personal life, with my personal life back home, that my non-existent life here, my body just gave up or shuts down. I've experienced and felt things I've never experienced and felt before. It was not great. It was not a good experience or good feeling. It was such a negative feeling, which kind of pushed me to ask the question. There was no joke, I was literally asking myself, Marge, is this your life now? Really? Your body is shutting down. You're overworked. You don't have time to spend with your boyfriend. That's the whole reason why you're here. Is this your life now? I was literally asking myself that, what am I doing?
Is this what I want to do, what I want to continue doing?
Yeah.
Is this who I want to be?
Yeah.
Because I can imagine that's also a question that every now and then I did ask myself.
Yeah.
Because are you the same person as you were in Italy? Are you changing because of the environment? And
so I was asking myself that, and I was also telling myself, you left everything behind, your friends and your family, for this? Is this really what you wanted, and this is really the life that you wanted? Yeah, at that time when I was asking the question and I don't know the answer to, I was so disappointed at myself that how and why did I let it happen? Because I felt like, now in this perspective and in this mindset right now, if I look back, I felt like I've had so many chances that I could have took. I was just so focused on one thing, to get this one thing perfect and right, that I just forget about the rest, including myself. But it was just a switch in my head, I think. I can honestly say that I needed to go through that to actually have this mindset that I have now. Because I feel like if I didn't feel that bad, I think I would have just, I don't know,
Continued, probably.
continued, because you know your body is like, oh, you're fine, you just need rest, tomorrow you will be fine, or whatsoever.
So maybe on one side, this has helped you realizing that actually I want something different, or
Yeah.
this is not exactly how I want to continue,
Yeah.
what I need to change.
That's also why early this year I really sat down with myself and I said, no one's gonna control your life but you. Of course, with the big help of therapy and all of that, which is very still taboo in our culture, but a big help of it is therapy, that I actually had the time to, I actually have to have the time for myself. And
It's healthy.
Yeah.
And you have to have it.
this is sound very, very, I don't know, far-fetched, but I remember my therapist telling me, if you are a type of person that schedule things, then put it in your agenda that you need to rest. You're a type of person that if it's not there, it doesn't exist. Then put there as well, rest.
Use your strength at your advantage. Because if you
Yeah.
really like to plan things, why not
Mhm.
planning also something
Mhm.
that is gonna help you?
Yeah, but that's to me at that time when I heard her say that, I'm like, you're gonna put your
That's
rest
weird.
in your agenda.
Who does that?
Yeah, but also I would be the weird one to put it in my agenda. I was like, come on. And then she also helped me like, yeah, but you have to accept the fact that you are that kind of person. So you have to accept the fact that this kind of way of living works for you. Accept it. So put rest in your agenda. So yeah, early this year I told myself I'm gonna take the I felt like there's a lot of time that was lost. I told myself you're gonna take those time back. You're just gonna live through current life as today and not tomorrow. And I realize now that I would never be in this awareness if I haven't gone through that. I think I needed to experience that, because I think there's always this stubbornness in the back of your head that's saying that you're fine.
And maybe I don't know if it's the right word, but a blessing in disguise.
disguise.
Because I think a lot of people don't get the chance to do that, or to
Yeah.
experience that.
Exactly.
And actually it helps you to even improve yourself, right? To be the best version of yourself.
Yeah,
And not
exactly.
everybody experiences that.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
sometimes you do need to have that extreme moment
Mhm.
or extreme stop
Mhm.
to get to the best version of yourself.
Of course, you wouldn't wish to have it experience it,
Anybody.
but
no.
to anybody, including yourself, of course. But there are just some situations that you gotta find the silver lining to it. That's what I'm trying to see. That if I didn't gone through that experience, then I wouldn't look at life or myself differently.
Maybe you wouldn't be here today, like sitting here
Yeah,
doing this
and
project.
actually having the
yeah.
time to actually sit down and talk to you. Well, anyway, about my sad story. What about you?
Well, I think for me, I realized that, this is my life now. The more and more I was going back and forth from Italy, the more I did that, the more I realized that actually I'm living in between now. So the more I was taking a plane, the more that this became very, very obvious. And there is something that really stuck to my mind, and that's the hugs that my dad was giving me before the controls at the airport. So those hugs became stronger and stronger, or stronger than normal. And then you feel like, that's also... You hold.
What do you mean, stronger for you, or the feeling of him hugging you?
Yeah, like when he was hugging me, that hug was a bit stronger than normal hugs. If you are at home, or if you say goodbye or see you tonight or whatever, So that hug was a bit stronger and also a bit longer, In that moment, I realized, damn, I am building something, and it's not in Italy.
Yeah.
And
it's not with them.
And it's not with them, exactly. So then I realized, because there was so much excitement in the first year, taking a plane on my own, going back and forth, and feeling a bit that international girl, that I didn't realize the impact that actually it was having. And first of all, on my family, or people that I was living in Italy, but also on myself and on my life. So then it kicked in. I was like, okay, I'm really living in between. And I think also something else that helps in making me feel that I'm living in a different country. This is my life. It's also getting a job. So when you are studying, it's much more easier to plan when to go into Italy. You don't have to necessarily be at lesson. You can also study from home, and you can just take a plane whenever you want. When you start working, that's not really possible. So you really need to plan when you want to go back. It's not as easy as it was before. So then is the moment that you're like, okay, so my life is here. Let's say that 90% is here and 10% is there at this point.
Yeah, right? The value is just changes. You can never say 50-50. It's impossible.
Yeah.
You cannot,
No.
yeah.
It's impossible.
Even no matter how close Italy is, in terms of geographically
Still,
speaking.
it takes a lot. It takes planning. So
Yeah.
you need to make sure that that is possible, that you maybe don't have a deadline, or that people can pick you up, anything.
But also, indeed, it's work. So you take consideration of your work, the people that you're working with. It's also part of growing up. Let's move on. What does home mean to you now? And do you feel at home in the Netherlands right now?
The word home has taken now two different meanings, so has definitely two sides. One is the Netherlands is a home because that's where I'm living, that's where I'm working, that's where I plan to stay, where I'm building my life. So definitely that is home. But Italy is also home because that's where my roots are. That's where my soul will always belong to.
Yeah.
And there's always a piece of me there. And that piece of me, I'm really trying to keep alive, of course. So you need to also make sure that
Connections are still there.
you keep it, exactly. I have to say that I'm happy in the Netherlands at the moment, but of course you cannot be happy 100% all the time. So there are always gonna be things that I'm still missing my family, I'm still missing my friends. I have a feeling of missing out because now also a lot of friends are in important moments of their life, are getting kids, and you're not there. You simply can't be there all the time. So you have always this feeling of missing out of things. And when you go back, you always, you can catch up, but it's brief, it's not the same.
Not the same. Yeah.
So that's definitely something. But at the moment, I have to say that I'm happy. And what about you, Mars? Are you happy at the moment? Is it home? What is home?
Ooh. This will definitely feel or sound cheesy, but home is wherever me and my boyfriend and my dog is, to be honest. We have moved to 3 different houses at this point. I don't think I've had actually the chance to feel fully 100% at home. I think the idea of him and us together makes me feel much more secure than an actual tangible place that you can call home. I also think moving abroad, the definition of home is kind of blurry. As what you have said, you're in between, but I would put it as blurry. And I think for some it will stay blurry for some time. For the lucky ones, they will easily find it and get it, and maybe for the unlucky ones, maybe forever they will be searching for it.
Yeah, they will never get to that point.
Yeah, we'll never get to that point. And I think for me, I don't want to wait for it. I don't want to wait for that feeling of check that, hey, finally you feel at home today or at this place or whatever. Wherever me and my boyfriend I are together, as long as we're together, I think that's the concept of that is home for me. We bought a house together 2 years ago and it's ours. If you were to ask me if I feel home at this house right now, can't answer it, to be honest. I don't know, because there are still things that I don't even know what home is anymore, if that makes sense. I think it only makes sense for the people like us that actually moved out of their comfort zones without knowing anything or anyone. But if you were to ask me if I'm getting used to this home, then my answer would be yes, because that's 2 different things. I am getting used to it. I don't necessarily feel or know if this is home. Really punche, blurred or vague to think about it. But as cliche as it is, wherever he is or we are, I think that's home. And I think,
but I'd rather have that than say, oh, this house makes me feel at home, or this is home. No, I'd rather have a person that's much more deep than
and I know it may sound I'm very dependent to him, but I honestly think it's a mutual feeling. And I think the concept of home to us is just very vague and blurry, that it doesn't matter as long as you and I are together. That's home.
For you, when or at what moment do you feel homesick the most?
Oh, homesick. I think whenever I'm doing the most mundane things. For example, early mornings in the Netherlands or late evenings in the Netherlands. In the Philippines, outside, you always see people outside all the time. You always hear people all the time. You always have this sense of communal energy around you, that no matter what it is, bad or good, there's someone there. When I get home from work, very tiring day, I have to cook dinner for myself. I still need to take care of the chores and whatnot, which I know back home, I know that someone would help me to do that. For example, you can just have your food delivered at any time of the day whatsoever. There's so many convenience store 24/7 open for you or whatever. I guess on a daily basis, when I walk my dog outside, I always think it would be nice to have someone with me doing that.
People sharing with you stuff. That's something that in the Philippines happens more than here.
Yeah.
So if you are walking a dog, then maybe I do something else. So we are efficient.
Yeah.
But that's not always about
Efficiency.
No.
No.
It's just like, oh, can we share? Can we have a walk or just be side by side or cooking together or
yes, exactly.
helping
Because
me
I think
repeat my Dutch lesson or whatever it is.
we have this, we don't have a concept of social battery or me time, if that makes sense. Like our me time is going to a spa with your bestie. That's your me time. Or gossiping about what happened to your coworker. That's a me time. But I guess that's the most loneliest parts of my day, is when I'm doing something that I enjoy so much, and then the idea pops into my head that, oh, I wish I could have shared it with someone, or I wish I could have showed this thing to whoever. There's no specific moment that I feel so homesick, only the most normal things. What about you?
For me, I feel homesick definitely always now after so many years.
Yeah.
Taking the plane back, you might think, oh, it should be fine by now, but it's not. But every time I come back, the first day, it's awful. The first day I really feel
back
like
here.
so. Yeah, the first day I come back here in the Netherlands after having been a week in Italy.
Yeah.
Then I feel always homesick. You spent a week in Italy. You've seen family, friends. You had the best time. Then you are catapulted.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's the word, but you come back to the Netherlands and then maybe you need to go back working, starting your routine. But that first day is always so difficult because you feel homesick. You miss people and you're like, oh damn. Then after a couple of days it's fine. Then you go back into your routine. You have also friends here. You have things to do. Then it's like, oh, then it's fine. But that first day always eats me. Unbelievable.
Yeah.
But
we have a term in the Philippines. We call it mingaw. It means that feeling. It's specifically even for people that you left, for example, your parents or your friends, they feel like they miss you, but this is specifically because of distance, or you had an extreme, intense feeling with them, and then immediately suddenly it's gone. That feeling is mingaw. It was like I feel mingaw towards you. It's like separation anxiety.
So that's what I feel. Exactly. That's even after 8 years, it still kicks in every time. And then you, like, if you talk to me, I'm just so cranky. So there's I cannot pinpoint, but never do that.
You're going on holiday back to Italy in a couple of weeks. So once on your first day, I'm not gonna talk to you then.
Yeah, like, just note it down. I also feel homesick when I cannot have things that I would have in Italy or I would do in Italy. That list is becoming a bit shorter now, but still some things like just simply, I don't know, you finish a day and you have still a few hours, or you finish early at work, and then in summer you can just go to the beach, sunbathe. You know where to go, you know what to do. It's just like a bit automatic pilot, and here is not yet like that.
Yeah, but the thing is, you know where to go as well, you know what to do as well,
but it's
for some reason
it is different. It's not the same, and at least it's getting it's small. It's getting smaller with the amount of years I'm being away from Italy. But still sometimes like, in Italy that was like this. And
but this side question, have you actually done that when you were living in Italy? Oh, you know what, this weekend let's go to the beach. Have you actually done that?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So I did. I had days where I was for a period I worked as in a cafe. So then you have a shift that, for example, finish at 2:00 because you did morning, and then at 2 there were some days that I went to the gym 2 to 3 or 2:30 to 3:30, let's say, then take my car and then just went alone to the beach until 6:00 and just stay there, read, sunbathe, and then go home, food, shower, and then
ready for the next day.
So that's really something that you have a car, you know where to go, and then you just go. And a lot of things are for free in that sense, and here is a bit different. So I'm still navigating that part somehow. That feels like it's much easier in Italy, or I know what to do in Italy, and here it's it's not yet like that. And then you miss it. It's like, oh, I could have done this weekend, and instead like, I didn't do that, or just, oh, you are not in the mood, or
You're not in the
it's
mood,
just
yeah.
different.
Yeah, I think it's just, again, I think because also you are in a different environment. So a lot of things that's happening in your environment affects you so much that you don't even notice it until you're there, that, oh, I'm actually not in a good mood, or I'm super drained
or
today.
it's taken me more time than it would in Italy, you know?
Yeah.
Because in Italy I would just take my car and go, and here with the bike it takes longer, and so on. Also, I'm getting homesick lately, 2 reasons, and these are first friends. There are some milestones now, having
That you weren't
kids, I don't know, wedding or other important moments in their lives that I'm missing, so I'm not there, so that makes me feel homesick sometimes. And as well as family members getting older, so I have always the feeling, or I start having the feeling of, oh, maybe I should do more weekends, just short weekends in Italy, or just be there a bit more, because it's life, you never know what will happen, and maybe I could put extra effort or spend that extra money instead of something here, just to go back to Italy and be there. So those things are starting to make me feel a bit more homesick than 8 years ago, when it's like, oh, everything exciting, sky's the limit, everything exciting. It's the first year, you can do everything. I'm gonna come home and we'll be fine, you know. So that's something that.
But also, I think with you, or at least from outsider, also for you, especially in the beginning, you have this concept that, oh, Italy is just there. I can go. Yeah.
It's much easier, definitely. But still, I think I came back home more often, or quite often in the past. Now a bit less, because you're a bit more busy. You have other things to do. So then you notice that I could maybe make the extra effort now that I can, that I'm still young and everything, to just get off plane on Friday and just come back on Sunday evening, for example.
So now that you have mentioned that you've been in the Netherlands for 8 years, do you ever feel guilty that you are here, or that you are living away from your family and friends?
No, I don't think I ever felt guilty, but what I feel sometimes is that I cannot contribute to things as much as I would be there. So you need to depend more on people than I would do if I were in Italy.
Okay.
So if I need to do something that it's just something that you need to fix something for your phone, or something very, very practical, that sometimes it's easier to, you can just pop in the shop when my parents are in the city, for example. If I were there, that was easier, but now they need to do that for me. So that part where you depend a bit more. And living in the Netherlands for so many years, you learn to be more independent, because the society is a bit more individualistic. And now thinking of having to depend on others makes you feel a bit heavier, or like more of a burden. For them, actually, it's not. It's like, I'm gonna pop in. There's no problem to help, you know.
But also, I think it's a sign of care and love.
Yeah, definitely. And what about you? Did you ever feel guilty about your family behind and leaving the Philippines?
In the beginning, definitely. There's this feeling of guilt that I'm leaving everybody behind, in a sense. But in recent years that have happened with my personal life, I always try to look at things, or try to find silver lining, reminding myself that there's a reason why you're here. You gotta make it worth it. You gotta make sure that it's worth it.
It happened to you, not to somebody else.
Yeah, exactly. And I don't know the reason or the answer to that question, that there's gotta be a reason why you're here. I don't know. And I don't really want to spend my entire life looking for the answer to that. One of the things that I just tell myself every time that I doubt myself that I'm here or whatnot, it's like mantra for me, is that I have to make it worth it. I need to make sure that my parents will be proud whatever I'm doing in the Netherlands, whatever I'm doing outside of our family home. I need to make sure that they will be proud. I guess it's more of a self-inflicted pressure. It's a good thing because it keeps me grounded. It's not more on a guilt now. I try to transition that feeling from guilt to more on like seizing the life that I have now and being grateful that I have this kind of life, and I have the privilege to kind of think and switch that I need to make sure that all the things that I do will make my family and my friends proud.
I have to say that it doesn't matter where you are, but it's your life and it's one, and you should make the most out of it.
Yeah.
So also that part, that at some point you can be here, you can be in Italy, you can come back to the Philippines. That's okay, but try to live your life at the fullest
Yeah,
every
as
day.
cliche as it
It's super
sounds,
cliche,
simple,
but
yeah,
indeed,
it's very true.
why
It's very
feeling
true.
guilty? Like, okay, if you really feel so guilty and you're like, you cannot stand it anymore, you can always go back. You can always, there will be always a way to fix it and to, you know, just go back, or maybe a different country or a different situation. Nothing is forever. Like, oh, it must be, it is like that and that's it. No.
Yeah. But I think that's it. I mean, you can't box yourself with this feeling of guilt, because okay, you feel guilty, punche punche punche, and then
So what?
so what have you checked in with your family and friends, how they feel? Maybe they're actually happy for you. Maybe they're actually fine that you're actually living your life outside of your comfort zone. But I think we're so stuck and too much in our heads most of the time. You feel guilty that no one's putting that feeling, just you. No one's
Yeah.
putting that.
It's always like that.
Yeah.
Hey, Marge, future. We are on the last bit. Talking about the future, if you reflect right now, after 4 years, what are you proud of?
The biggest thing for me is I'm proud that I'm still here.
Yeah.
To be honest, it's just so easy to just, you know what? I'm going back home. This is so hard. It's too hard.
Yeah, that's the easy way out.
Yeah, you can always just take that. And believe me, I thought about it million times of just, you know what? This is not worth it. I'm going to go home. But going back again to my mantra that I moved out of the Philippines for a reason. No matter whatever the reason is, I have to make it worth it. Saying yes to new things, it's saying yes to new adventures, saying yes to meeting new people, trying to say yes into things. And I know every person has a different concept of new experiences and new things. I'm not gonna go hike Mount Everest or whatsoever, but it's more of like accepting that the new life that I have right now, I need to figure it out on my own. I need to be proud of what I have made,
Achieved.
whatever that is. Right now, if you ask me, I do not have the best things in life, the best tangible things in life. I don't have the biggest house. I don't have the nicest house. I don't have the newest phone, the newest computer. I don't know. I don't even have the best job. But I think I am proud to say that all of those things, it's my doing. Even if you call it achievement or not, it's a compilation or a result of the things of my own action, no one else's. And I think I'm proud of that. I'm a type of person that I don't need much. I'm happy eat 4, maybe 5 times a day.
That's also important.
I think I'm proud. I knew that moving abroad is not gonna be easy, and I still took the step forward and do it. Still doing it. I still don't find it easy, but I'm still doing it and I'm still here.
You have now, you built it for yourself. So
Yeah.
you built it by yourself. You work for it. So it doesn't matter if it's not the latest phone, the latest car or whatever.
Yeah. At the end of this lifetime, I cannot bury myself with it. So I really couldn't care less. One of the biggest things that I am very much proud of is actually just this year, I'm learning to set boundaries, which is so alien. The concept of it is so alien to me. Also in our culture, what is setting boundaries? A lot of people may think of boundaries as rude. And I also need to accept that some people, also people
Might
from
not
back
agree.
home, that they might not agree. And I have to accept that. And I am proud that I have accepted that some people doesn't like it. If it's not okay for you, then
It's okay for me.
it's okay for me. I'm very proud of just keeping myself open and accepting new, rituals, accept the Western kind of thinking of putting yourself first a bit. Because I think from our culture, it's very different. As you said, the Netherlands is very individualistic.
Yeah,
From
you need to get out.
Yeah.
You need to notice these things.
Yeah.
And say, okay, maybe that's not so healthy. This is what I learned, and I think I can make the best of both worlds.
Exactly.
You know? I can get
Exactly.
what is the best practices here and there.
I love that Filipinos are very warm and very communal people. I love that whatever happens, you have someone, you have your family, your friends, or whatever. That's solid. But I also love the fact that the Netherlands is so into self-care. As you said, we get the privilege to pick and choose what fits for us. And I think it takes privilege. And I always say this, I'm very privileged with what I am becoming right now, because it's always a mixture of who I am from the Philippines and who I am becoming that I'm learning from the Netherlands. I think that's the things that I am very, very much proud of. What about you?
When you answered your the question initially, I was like, okay, she read my mind, because I also put, for me, I'm very proud that I made it so far.
Yeah.
That it started as, okay, I'm gonna go there, I'm gonna study, see how it goes. Worst case scenario, I will finish my study and come back.
Go back.
You know, like,
And you know what's funny? You call it worst case scenario. It's not. It's not. It
Also
sounds big.
not.
It sounds still good.
Exactly. So basically, yeah, taking the experience day by day and see where it brings me. And now being here after 8 years, still having made it so far, for me, that's something that I'm really proud of. And of course, also small victories, I call them, but having finished my study, speaking English very fluently, at least with some mistakes here and there in
Who
this
cares?
podcast.
At this point, who cares?
That's fine. Getting there with my Dutch, as well as having taken so many flights on my own, so back and forth, and having traveled to so many countries now in this past 8 years. And let's remember that before coming to the Netherlands, I never took a plane. So that's wild if I think about it. So these are all small things that, the list can go on and on, but still, these small victories for me, there are things that make me proud. So everything that I built in these 8
But
years.
also same goes for you. It's not about the tangible things. It's actually the feeling, because in the beginning you said, like, I'm so proud that I've gotten this far. When you mean this far, again, it's not about that you got a job, you are living in a house, or I don't know, you got your own life now and all that. It's very hard to describe because it's such a sacred feeling for us.
Yeah.
No matter what, when we say that, oh, I've gotten that far, it's not that easy that, oh, I got a house, I bought a house. That's not the measurement of getting this far.
No, I think that is just a combination of all these years and things you did. So having made it so far, despite of things, or so that's.
But also
really
the fact that you didn't stay in one part, because for example, after your school, you could have just get a stable job and that's it. But as you said, you also traveled a lot of different places, you're learning your Dutch and whatnot,
making new friends,
building
a network. I'm really proud of
those things. Is not mandated to do.
No, they're extra.
They are extra, and we are still privileged that we can get to do those extras.
So these are like things that at some point I think also sounds easy, but they're not. So when you move away from your country, away from your family, being able to feel happy or accomplished here alone, maybe not being able to share things right away, but having to wait for the phone call at 9 o'clock after dinner. A lot of small things.
Wait, 9 o'clock after dinner?
Okay, I have dinner. I have dinner at 8,
Okay.
So you have to eat. 9 o'clock, you call with your parents. So small things like sharing something, or if you are in Italy, that would be, or back home, that could be immediate, and it's not. So this is really, every small things makes you the person that you are today, and having made it so far can be from buying something with your own money that you earned yourself, to really being able to speak Dutch when you go to the grocery, so learning something, or having an experience. So it's, having made it so far has such a bigger meaning than the simple sentence.
What kind of future do you think you'd like to build for yourself? And do you see yourself building that future in the Netherlands?
I do see myself still in the Netherlands and building my future here. I don't have clear what I want. I think would be nice, maybe at some point having a business of my own. But at the same time, I also have this attraction to having an experience in another country, which is not Italy. So maybe living and working in another country, maybe an Asian country, to experience totally different culture than Europe. That's also something that attracts me, but nothing that it's on the
set in stone,
exactly. And maybe at some point also going back to Italy, if my loved ones are getting older, maybe I will go back. So that's also something that I'm taking into consideration, that life is short, so maybe going back at some point, it is in the picture, or I'm thinking about it. What about you, Mars?
Yeah, same like yours. I don't have anything planned and set in stone, because I think I am done planning my future. I just want to be happy and contented, no matter what that means at that point. Because right now, I can say that I am not happy yet. I am contented. But in terms of future, I keep things open. which is also I'm very grateful for, because my boyfriend also is on board with that. We don't know how the future would look like. We have goals and dreams in our heads that maybe we can go back to the Philippines and just live a simple life there. Living in the Netherlands is so intense sometimes.
Yeah.
When you go back to your home country, it just feels that you fit perfectly. No matter how long you've been away, somehow there's always, I don't know,
You find your place right away.
yeah, it's
You
very
know?
easy for you to adjust. And I think maybe, I'm just talking about this for now because I've been in the Netherlands for almost 4 years. Maybe it would change my mind after 8. I don't know. But if you're to ask me right now, my future and will be in the Philippines. Back home, get close to the nature, which I miss so much. Get close to the nature, and maybe indeed same, having my own business, no matter what that is, putting my effort and my sweat and tears on something that I'm very
And it's
passionate
yours.
about.
Yeah.
And it's mine. I think it's more of leaning towards that. Again, I'm keeping things open. We'll never know.
We are at the last question for today. March, now. We are living our life away from people and things we are used to and we have grown up with. The idea of happiness also changes. What does happiness look like to you now?
The happiness thing is very...
It's a big question.
It's very... Woo! On a practical, reality, mundane thing, happiness to me is as simple as this: having dinner with my boyfriend without worrying about the next day. What I mean with worrying, my entire life I have been managing people. Since I was 19, what I do is manage people, and people are complicated. And don't get me wrong, I'm not complaining about my job. I love working with people and all of that, but I worry a lot about
for others.
for others.
Everything.
You take care of things, of course, the business side, but also when you work with people, you take care of them as well. As a manager and with your position, I was kind of built to take care of things and people generally. So now I really wanted to take my availability and my time back, if that's even possible. And I am in the process of actually getting it by, again, setting boundaries, which not a lot of people love. It's still very hard for me to set the boundaries and whatnot. When I was younger, not even younger, just a couple of years ago, I
That's
think...
the younger, right?
I wanted to be someone at a job. You want to get this label.
Prestige.
Yeah, whatever it is, executive, manager, head of something, whatsoever. That's what I wanted. This is just very recent to me. Something switched. It totally changed my mindset and how I look into things. Of course, a big factor of that mindset is moving here. Because in the Philippines, labels, positions, all of those really matters so much. It defines who you are, who you will be in the future. I just realized when I moved here, or just a few years ago, that to be honest, I don't need much. I don't need these labels. What's the benefit for it for me? I mean, don't get me wrong. Some people are really thriving in climbing corporate ladders, and that's very good for them. But I just realized in the past years that I actually don't like it. I actually don't mind just working, being in the background, I guess, and I will be fine. And one of the biggest things that I love about the Netherlands is this concept. When you have a job, amazing. That's it. They don't ask for what's your position, what do you do, how much is your salary.
Those are extras.
Those are extras. But in my culture, in Asian or in Filipino culture, these things matter. And the first thing that you're gonna ask someone, or you're gonna hear someone ask you, is like, what do you do? What exactly the job entails? It really defines who you are, and just your entire being revolves around work and your job. And don't get me wrong, Filipinos are very hardworking people, so that's very normal to kind of link their lives to work, and that's just how they function.
Work is a big chunk of who you are.
No, but that's what I mean. In the Philippines, in the Netherlands, it's only a chunk of your life. In the Philippines,
It's all
that's
your
your
life.
life.
Yeah.
It drastically changed with me. I just know for sure that it has something to do with the burnout that I just recently experienced. And I think I have to go through all of that again to actually...
You also put things in perspective.
Yeah, because
so
again, you have
the time to do that.
Yeah,
Exactly.
you get the time. For me, I really try not to put happiness in a box that once you get this or you get that, I'm happy. Because people are wired and built to want more, just as who we are. We're always surviving and trying to get from one thing to another. The happiness is such a very sacred thing that I just don't want to put it in one material thing or one concept or one idea. If I have kids, I'll be happy. If I get married, I'll be happy, or whatever. Because I really, really don't know right now. When 2025 started, I actually just realized, you don't know about the future. You don't know at all. So I'm really trying to keep it open. And happiness will always be there. As you said earlier, happiness comes and go. You're always happy at all times. Like, then what's the worth of life if you're always happy?
No, exactly. I think you put it very nicely when you said you have always goals and dreams.
Yeah.
And you can work towards that, but yet you just never know.
And but that shouldn't define you or whatever.
No. No, exactly.
All right. And what about you, though? Since you asked me a very difficult question.
It was a very difficult question to answer, I must admit. In this moment, happiness means be surrounded by people that love me, that I love, that support me. That's very important. Doing what you love, what I love in this moment.
Yeah, because it changes.
And just enjoying the simple things in life. I think if that's there, then it's fine. Everything else doesn't matter. I think if you have a nice network of people around you that love you, you're doing what you like, what you love, you feel fulfilled, and you are just enjoying simple things. That's the key, I think. In this moment, that's what happiness means for me. It's simple.
Because that's also why I'm struggling to talk about happiness, because I don't really know how to define it.
You feel like you need to be philosophical or something?
Yeah, I don't need to, because to be honest, I don't know. I don't know what will make me happy. I just know that right now I have this and that, and I'm contented. I am happy. Sure, tomorrow, I don't know.
Yeah. Well, today was a bit of emotional conversation.
It was intense.
A bit intense, right? But very powerful in a sense that it really forced us to think, and not everybody likes it, right?
No.
Not everybody feels comfortable with this topic.
It's too confronting for some, but this is the things that we need to talk about.
Well, let's end it on a lighter tone or note, let's say. Marge, what is the Dutchiest thing you did this week?
Dutchiest thing I did this week. I went to a 40-year wedding anniversary of my...
That's a lot.
Yeah, 40, right? Of my boyfriend's uncle. But we went there by bike. It was a lot for me. It was my first time. I was actually looking...
That's a lot. How long did you...
It's half an hour. It's a lot. I mean, for me...
Back and forth? Like, you need to do it twice, right?
Twice. So an hour to go together. It was a lot for me because I know how to cycle, but I don't cycle for work or because I need to cycle. Cycle is a pleasurable and should be a pleasurable thing.
But not for you.
But I was actually looking forward to it because I was excited about it. One of the biggest things, because I have an electric bike, so I know it will be easy. So that's kind of a cheating.
Yeah. So privileged.
Yeah. I was looking forward to it because it was a nice weather, and I get to see the farmlands of the Netherlands a bit.
Which is also very beautiful.
Which is also very beautiful, very quiet, very scenic. I saw a lot of cows and whatnot. I still get very excited seeing cows because you don't see that in the Philippines. We don't have that kind of nature. So we cycled from one point to another for half an hour, no break. It was very Dutch for me, but also there were 5 people, so we're cycling all together in a triangle kind of thing. It was like super Dutch, but I was in the middle of it. I'm like, I would never do this. My friends would
Family
never do
formation.
this together. Yeah, you have a formation, and the leader in front is the one who knows the road, because I don't know where to go. I don't know how long still or whatsoever. But that's so very Dutch. But one extra Dutch thing there is that when I get there, again, it's a Dutch celebration, right? There was a truck that came in, and then everybody was like, oh, that's food for dinner. So like, oh, finally there's food. Okay. And then when they opened it, guess what it is?
Frikandellen.
Yeah. It's frit and frikandel and the snacks.
Oh, that's
so
also
Dutch.
something very Dutch.
Don't get me wrong, I like it. It's very nice, but it's just so Dutch
that's typical.
Cycling there is just tip of the iceberg, because coming in there's actually so much Dutch things that's going on. But yeah, the highlight as well is the food. So
that's very Dutch.
Yeah. What about you?
Well, this week, I had dinner at 6 o'clock. At 6.
Well, you just said earlier I was like 9 o'clock, and now 6.
But you are becoming very Dutch on that side, I have to say. Like, for me, 6 o'clock is still quite early.
In the Philippines, we eat 6, 7, so it's not so. But we always have midnight snack at midnight.
Yeah, exactly. You have midnight snacks. No,
Yeah.
in Italy not. And usually it's between 7 and 8, depending on the family. 8:30.
Yeah, at
could
that
be.
time you should be full and then ready for bed.
Yes,
right? Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah, but you also do a lot of walks after dinner, right?
In Italy?
In Italy, I think. No?
No,
No?
not that I know. Between 7 and 8:30, you have
You eat
dinner.
dinner,
7 is on the early side,
Mm-hmm.
but usually for me it's 8 o'clock, 8:30 nowadays sometimes.
Okay. Even here in the Netherlands.
in
you
the
eat-
Netherlands,
okay,
yeah.
Okay.
So for me 6 is like, okay, this is snack time before going to the
Oh,
gym.
but eating 6 o'clock, you're not alone.
No, I was not alone. No.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Because I was
That's,
like,
yeah,
you would never
otherwise
do
I
that.
wouldn't.
Yeah. Okay, I think that's it. That is a very nice way of closing this podcast, heavy, powerful podcast. And again, we'd like to thank you for being here with us. Thank you for
Exactly.
taking the time on listening and watching us. We'd love to see you again next time. We really, really hope to see you next time.
But
And
before we close, shall we
we need
look,
to we need to check the
our photo?
What is it? See, I have 3. Thank you so much.
Thank you guys for being here.
Thank you. And
And, do
bye.